Hey there, welcome back to the channel. Let me ask you a quick question. Has this ever happened to you? Someone starts speaking to you in English, and you suddenly feel tense. You want to answer, but your mind just blanks out. The words disappear. You're unsure how to respond, and before you know it, the chance to speak is already gone. Don't worry, that feeling is more common than you think. You're definitely not the only one. In this video, I'm going to show you how to speak English more naturally and with confidence, especially when it comes to casual conversations. We won't just look at 10 or 100 phrases. I'm giving you 1,000 real English sentences that people use in everyday life. These are practical, useful, and simple. And the best part, you'll build confidence step by step, one sentence at a time. Let's make speaking English feel easier together. Now tell me in the comments, do you ever freeze up during small talk? Just write yes or no. I'd love to know. Chapter 1. Why small talk matters more than you think. You're trying to speak English. You've been learning grammar, memorizing vocabulary, practicing phrases. But then someone starts a conversation with you, and suddenly you freeze. Your brain stops. Your heart starts to race. You want to respond, but nothing comes out. The words just vanish. You feel awkward, maybe even embarrassed. You smile politely, but say nothing. And just like that, the conversation ends. You walk away feeling disappointed in yourself. But why? You understood the question. You knew the words. So what happened? This is the real challenge. It's not grammar. It's not long advanced sentences. It's not even difficult topics. The real struggle is small talk. It's what catches you off guard. It's what makes you feel like a beginner again, even after years of study. And the truth is, you're not alone. So many English learners go through the exact same thing. At first glance, small talk seems easy. It's just short, casual conversation, right? But in reality, it's fast. It's natural. It happens spontaneously in real life with real people. And real people don't wait. They speak quickly, they don't explain, they don't talk like teachers, and they definitely don't slow down. That's what makes small talk so intimidating. Because it's not just about knowing English. It's about pressure. It's about connection. It's about being present in the moment. And if you hesitate, if you don't know what to say, the moment slips away. Your chance to connect is gone. But here's something important to remember. Small talk is not small at all. In fact, it's everything. It's the doorway to fluency. It's the very first step toward using English in real life. Think about it for a second. How do friendships begin? How do you build relationships? How do you become part of a group? It always starts with small talk, a smile, a simple greeting, or a casual question like, "How's your day?" These tiny moments have power. They make people feel comfortable. They open doors. They build trust. They make others want to talk to you more. And when people talk to you more, you get more chances to speak, and your English naturally improves. So here's the big secret. If your goal is fluency, start by mastering small talk. Let me share a quick story. One day, after class, a student named Lena came up to me. She said, "Teacher, I know the grammar rules. I watch English TV shows, but I still can't speak fluently." I asked her gently, "What do you usually do when someone greets you?" She smiled nervously and said, "I just smile and run away." I understood her completely. I had seen it happen so many times before. So we started with something very simple. One line. Just one. "Hey, how's it going?" She practiced saying that one sentence over and over again. First with me, then with a classmate, then eventually with a stranger at the library. And one day, she walked into class with a big smile. I talked to someone on the train, she said. It felt real. That was her turning point. Today, Lena is no longer running away. She's actually teaching English to others. Yes, the same person who once avoided small talk now helps others embrace it. That's the reason I made this video, not to teach big, complicated words or long grammar explanations, but to give you something real. Real tools, real phrases. The kind you actually need at the cafe, in the elevator, on a phone call, at school, or at work. These 1,000 small talk sentences are like keys. Each one might seem small, but together they'll unlock your confidence. They'll change the way you speak and how you feel when you speak. So don't worry if your English isn't perfect. Don't stress if you forget a word or feel nervous. That's completely normal. But let's make a promise just between us. Let's promise to try. Let's take it one sentence at a time. Let's speak up even when it's not perfect. Because small talk isn't about being perfect. It's about showing up. It's about making a connection. And that is where real fluency begins. In the next chapter, we'll start with something simple. How to say hello in a way that feels natural, not robotic or awkward. You'll learn greetings that sound real, express emotion, and help you feel more like yourself in English. But for now, take a moment to reflect. What's holding you back from small talk? Is it fear? Is it self-doubt? Is it a habit you've built over time? Whatever it is, we'll work through it together. You're not alone. I'm right here with you. Let's keep moving forward, one small, powerful sentence at a time. Chapter 2. How to say hello without feeling awkward. Let's start where every conversation begins, with a simple hello. Sounds easy, right? You just say hello or hi, and that's it. But when you're out in the real world and someone looks at you and says it first, your brain suddenly freezes. You panic a little and think, what do I say now? Or am I going to sound weird? That happens because no one really teaches you how to say hello like a real person. In most English classes, you're told to say, hello, how are you? And reply, I'm fine, thank you. But let's be honest, nobody actually talks like that in daily life. Native speakers say other things. They use their voice, their eyes, their smile. That's why saying hi can feel strange. You know the word, but it doesn't feel natural to you. Today, I want to help change that. I want to help you say hello with confidence in a way that feels natural and true to you. Imagine this. You walk into a cafe. You see someone you know, maybe a classmate or a neighbor. They smile and say, hey, how's it going? Now what do? Do you smile awkwardly and nod? Do you say hello but feel stiff? Or maybe you reply, good, and you with a flat voice like a robot. Most learners do exactly that, and that's okay. It means you're still learning. But what if I told you there's a better way? A more relaxed, more real way to say hello. Let me show you. You don't have to say hello all the time. You can say, hey, hi there, morning, good to see you. What's up? How's everything? Long time no see. Yo, only for friends. How's your day going? Hey, how have you been? These are real greetings that people use every day. They're short, they're friendly, and most importantly, they feel human. But here's the secret. It's not just about the words you say. It's about how you say them. Your voice, your eyes, your smile, your tone. If you say good to see you, but your face looks nervous and your voice is shaky, it doesn't feel right. But if you say it with a soft smile and calm voice, it feels real. It feels warm. And people will feel that energy. So don't just memorize the sentences, practice the feeling behind them. Let me tell you a quick story. One of my students, Amir, was very shy. He had studied English for 5 years, but he always avoided speaking. He could write, he could understand, but saying hello made him freeze. So one day, we did a simple exercise. We practiced only greetings. That's it. We stood up like strangers and practiced. He said hi. I said hi. He said, "How's it going?" I replied, "Pretty good." We did this every day for just 10 minutes. After a week, Amir told me I said hello to someone at the gym yesterday. They smiled, and we talked for 5 minutes. He was so proud, and I was proud too. That's the power of one sentence. A greeting can open the door to a real connection. After that, everything gets easier. You can do the same. Practice saying hello by yourself. Look in the mirror and try. "Hey, how's your day going?" Say it like a real person. Relax your face. Smile a little. Try saying it with different tones. See what feels natural to you. You don't need to learn 100 greetings. Just pick 5 you like and use them often. Say them to your friends, to your neighbor, even to your phone's voice assistant. The more you say them, the more natural they'll feel. Here's one last thing to remember. Greetings are not about grammar. They're about energy. When someone says, "Hey," they're not testing your English. They're just opening a door. Your job is simple: walk through that door. And if you don't know what to say next, that's okay. Just smile. Say "good to see you" or "how have you been?" Let the conversation happen. And if it doesn't, that's okay too. You tried, you practiced, and that's how you grow stronger. Now I want to hear from you. What's your favorite way to say hello in English? Comment below. I read every comment. And next time someone says hi to you, don't panic. Just smile, breathe, and speak. You are not a robot. You are human. And your hello could brighten someone's day. In the next chapter, we'll talk about how to answer one of the most common questions in English. How are you? With real, honest replies. Not "I'm fine, thank you," but something real and useful for real life. I'll see you there. Chapter 3. How are you? Let's talk about a question you've probably heard many times. How are you? Now, what do you usually say? Most English learners give the same reply. "I'm fine, thank you," and "you." That's what school teaches. That's what textbooks tell you. But in real conversations, native speakers almost never say it like that. It sounds polite, sure, but it also feels a little robotic, like something memorized from a script. You may have felt it too, that awkward moment when you want to say something more real, more personal, but you just don't know what to say. This is a common problem. You understand English, but when it comes to small talk, you feel stuck. That's what we're going to fix today. The truth is, there are many ways to respond to "how are you?" Each one shows a different mood, a different feeling. You might feel happy, tired, stressed, excited, or just okay. But no one ever teaches those answers in class. So today, I will teach them to you, simple, real responses you can use every day. Forget grammar. Forget big words. What you need is honest human connection. Because when someone asks, "How are you?" they're not testing your grammar. They're just opening a door to connection. And your answer, even just one sentence, can make that moment meaningful. Here are some natural responses. Pretty good, not bad. I'm okay, I'm all right, just tired. Doing well, thanks. Could be better, can't complain. It's been a long day, I'm hanging in there. These are all real. They are all simple, and they're used in daily life. You don't need to sound perfect. You just need to sound like a real person. Let's take an example. If you say, "I'm okay," just a little tired, people understand you. They relate to you. That's not just English, that's a human connection. And that's the true goal of learning any language. Let me tell you a story about my student Maria. She always said, "I'm fine. Thank you," in a soft, nervous voice. It sounded like she was giving the correct answer in a test. One day I asked her, "But how are you really?" She looked surprised. Then she smiled and said, "I'm tired. I didn't sleep much." And I told her, "That's perfect. That's real English." From that day forward, Maria stopped saying what she thought was the right answer. She started being honest. She started being herself. And people noticed. They smiled more. They talked to her more. Because she was no longer speaking like a robot. She was speaking like a human. You can do the same. Choose 2 or 3 responses that feel natural to you. Practice them. Say them out loud. Look in the mirror. Smile. Try different tones. Try these. "I'm doing okay." "Not too bad. I've been better." Say them again and again. Use them with friends. Use them with new people. Even when you feel shy. And slowly you'll notice the more honest you are, the more people connect with you. Now let's talk about asking the question back. You've probably said, and that's okay. But let's learn a few more natural ways. How about you? What about you? How are things with you? How's your day going? Everything good with you? These are friendly and easy. And when you use them, you show that you care. You're not just answering, you're keeping the conversation going. That's the real power of small talk. So here's your mission. This week, when someone asks, "How are you?" don't say, "I'm fine." Instead, say something honest, something simple, and say it with feeling. Maybe I'm doing okay. Maybe could be better. Maybe good, but a little tired. Try it. After you answer, ask how about you. Then listen. Smile. Continue the conversation. One small sentence can turn into something real. And if nobody asks you first, you start. Be the first to say, "Hey, how's it going?" Be brave. Be kind. Be real. Your English doesn't need to be perfect. You just need an open heart. In the next chapter, we'll talk about the easiest way to start a conversation, the weather. It may seem boring, but it's actually the #1 topic for small talk all over the world. And I'll show you how to talk about it naturally, easily, and with confidence. Chapter 4. Talking about the weather. The easiest conversation starter. Let me share a little secret with you. When 2 strangers speak for the first time, what do they usually talk about? Not deep topics, not politics, not work. They talk about the weather. Yes, really, the weather. "It's hot today, isn't it? Looks like rain. Beautiful morning." These simple sentences are like little doors. They open up a conversation in the safest way possible. Everyone sees the sky. Everyone feels the wind. So when you don't know what to say, start there. But many English learners ignore this. They think, weather, that's not important. So they stay silent. They wait for big special moments. But those don't happen very often. Real English lives in small everyday moments. In elevators, at the bus stop, in cafes. And the weather, it's your best friend in those moments. It gives you something to say when your mind goes blank. When you're nervous, when you want to speak but don't know how. Let me show you how easy it can be. You don't need big words, just real ones. "It's freezing today. So hot out, I'm melting. Nice breeze, right? Looks like it might rain. Perfect day for a walk. The weather's been crazy lately. Feels like spring is finally here. Ugh, it's so humid. We need some rain, don't we? The sky is beautiful today." These are simple, and you can use them with anyone. A shopkeeper, a neighbor, someone in line next to you. You don't need a deep topic, just a shared moment. You both feel the same weather. That's enough. Now let me tell you a story. My student Hannah moved to London. She was shy. Her English was okay, but she didn't speak much. One day it rained hard. She was standing next to a woman at the bus stop. There was silence. Then Hannah said, "British weather is always surprising." The woman smiled and laughed. "Yes, and we still never carry umbrellas." They chatted for 5 minutes. It was Hannah's first real conversation with a stranger in English. That one sentence about the rain gave her courage. And after that, she kept going. More smiles, more small talk, more confidence. You can do the same. So look around. Is it sunny, cold, cloudy? Say something. Anything. Try it in front of the mirror first. Beautiful day, right? Smile when you say it. Feel the sentence in your body. Let it become natural. Then take it outside. Say it to someone, anyone. The words are simple, but the moment can be powerful. People don't remember perfect grammar. They remember connection. So when the sky gives you something to talk about, use it. It's a free gift. And one last tip. Even if no one's around, say it out loud. "Wow, it's cold today." Say it when you open the window. Say it while walking outside. This trains your brain to speak. Soon it becomes a habit. And one day, someone will hear you. And they might reply. That's how conversations begin. Now it's your turn. What's the weather like where you are today? Comment below with one English sentence. I read every comment. Let's practice together. In the next chapter, we'll talk about one of the most common small talk questions. Where are you from? And I'll show you how to answer with confidence, curiosity, and pride. Chapter 5. Where are you from? Talking about places and people. Sometimes someone looks at you, smiles, and asks, "So where are you from?" It sounds like a simple question, but for many English learners, it feels big. You stop, you think, you feel nervous. Maybe you're shy about your accent. Maybe you don't know how to say your city's name in English. Maybe you don't know what to say after your answer. So you say, "I'm from Pakistan," or "I'm from Brazil." Then silence. You wait. You hope the other person says more. But what if they don't? What if they just smile and say, "Oh, nice," and walk away? That's when you feel stuck. You want to say more, but you don't know how. That's why this chapter is important. Because talking about where you're from isn't just about geography. It's about your story. People ask because they're curious. They want to know you. But here's the secret. It's not only about your country. It's about who you are, what your place is like, what it feels like to live there. And no, you don't need complicated English for that. You just need to describe your place with heart, with feeling, with confidence. Let's start simple. When someone asks, "Where are you from?" say, "I'm from country." But don't stop there. Add a little more. "I'm from the north of Italy. It's a quiet place with lots of mountains." "I'm from a small village near Dhaka. It's very green and peaceful." "I'm from Tokyo. It's a big, busy city with lights everywhere." These are short sentences, but they paint a picture. You can also share how you feel. "I miss my hometown sometimes. It's beautiful, but very hot in summer." "I love the food there." Now your answer feels real. Not perfect, but personal. Let me tell you a story. My student Diego is from a small town in Mexico. At first, he didn't like talking about it. He thought it was boring, too small. When people asked, "Where are you from?" he just said, "Mexico," and smiled. But one day I asked him, "Describe your town in one sentence." He said, "It's a quiet place with orange trees and kind people." I said, "That's beautiful. Say that next time." And he did. When someone asked again, he said, "I'm from a small town with orange trees and kind people." And the person replied, "That sounds amazing. I'd love to visit someday." That one moment gave Diego confidence. He started to open up. He spoke with more pride. You can do that too. You don't need long stories, just short, honest sentences. Talk about your town, your family, your childhood, the food, the weather, the people. Say what makes your place special. It doesn't matter if it's a big city or a tiny village. Every place has something beautiful. And when you share that, people remember you. You can also keep the conversation going. After you answer, ask them, have you ever been there? Do you know it? Where are you from? This makes it a two-way conversation. That's how connection happens. So now let's practice. Imagine someone asks you, where are you from? Try to answer with one full sentence. Add one detail. Say it out loud. Don't worry about grammar. Focus on the feeling. You're not just learning English. You're learning to tell your story. And your story starts with where you're from. Speak it proudly. Speak it slowly. Speak it with love. Because when you speak with love, your English becomes alive. So now I ask you, where are you from? Comment below using one full English sentence. Tell me about your place. I read every comment, and I can't wait to hear your story. In the next chapter, we'll talk about another small talk topic: job, study, and daily life. What do you say when someone asks, what do you do? Don't worry, I'll help you get ready. Chapter 6, what do you do? Job, study, and daily life. So what do you do? It's one of the most common small talk questions in English. It means, do you work? Do you study? It's not a rude question. It's just normal in English-speaking countries, a way to start a friendly chat. But for many learners, this question feels uncomfortable. You stop, you think, you feel nervous. What if you don't have a job? What if you can't explain your work in English? What if your job doesn't sound interesting? But it doesn't have to be scary. Today, I'll show you how to answer this question simply, clearly, and confidently. You don't need big words, just real words, simple sentences, and I'll give them to you. Let's start with some easy examples. If you work, I work in a hospital. I'm a teacher. I work in marketing. I'm a software developer. I have a small business. I work at a restaurant. If you study, I'm a student at university. I'm studying English full-time. I take evening classes. I'm learning online right now. If you stay at home or are between jobs, I stay home with my kids. I'm between jobs right now. I'm taking a break at the moment. I'm looking for something new. I help my family at home. These are polite, natural answers. You don't need to explain everything. You're not in a job interview. You're just having a friendly conversation. But here's how to make your answer special. Add a short detail, just one line, like this. I'm a teacher. I work with young children. I'm a student. I'm learning graphic design. I work in a shop. I love talking to customers. I stay at home with my baby. She's 1 year old. I'm between jobs. I used to work in customer service. This small detail turns your answer into a story. It helps people understand you and gives them something to say next. Now let me tell you about Kareem. He worked as a cleaner in the city, but he felt embarrassed to say that. He thought people would judge him. So when someone asked, "What do you do?" he'd just say, "Nothing special." But one day I asked him, "What do you really do?" He said, "I clean offices at night. It's hard work, but I listen to English podcasts while I clean." I smiled and said, "That's powerful. Say that." Next time he did, and the other person replied, "That's amazing. You're learning while working. I respect that." From that day, Kareem stopped hiding. He started sharing. You can do the same. Whatever your job is, or even if you don't have one, your time has value. Your story matters. And if you don't want to talk about work, that's okay too. You can shift the topic kindly. I work in tech, but I love music more. I study full time, but I'm also learning English for fun. I'm taking a break now and spending time with family. That shows you are more than your job. You are a full person with dreams, hobbies, a life. People like that. After you answer, don't forget to ask back. What about you? Do you work nearby? What do you do? That makes it a real conversation, not just a one-sided talk. So now I ask you, what do you do? Think about your day, your energy, your time. Try to write one sentence. Add one little detail. Say it out loud. Try it in front of the mirror. That sentence is your story. That sentence is your power. Comment below and tell me in one short sentence, what do you do? I read every comment, and I'd love to hear from you. In the next chapter, we'll talk about weekend conversations, how to answer the question, what did you do this weekend? Even if you did nothing special, I'll help you find something to say. Chapter 7, talking about your weekend. Real English for real life. Let's imagine it's Monday morning. You walk into class, arrive at work, or maybe meet someone while out. They smile and ask, "How was your weekend?" Or, "What did you do over the weekend?" And suddenly, your mind goes blank. You know what you did. Maybe you stayed in. Maybe you cleaned the house. Maybe you watched a movie. But when it's time to speak English, the words just don't come. You smile and say something like, "Nothing special." The conversation ends, and inside you feel a little disappointed because you wanted to say more. You wanted to connect but didn't know how. That's totally normal. So many English learners feel this way. And that's exactly why we're here, to slowly build your confidence in small talk one step at a time. Talking about your weekend is one of the easiest ways to start a conversation. It's friendly. It's safe. It gives both people a chance to share something simple. That's why native English speakers ask it so often. Even if they don't expect a long answer, it helps open the door to connection. When you learn to reply in clear, easy English, you'll feel more relaxed and ready to talk. Let's look at some basic natural answers. If your weekend was calm or quiet, you could say, "It was fine. I stayed home and relaxed. I didn't do much. Just watched some TV. I did some cleaning and laundry. Nothing big. I took it easy. It was a quiet weekend." These are short, real, and easy to remember. You don't need an exciting story. Even simple rest is worth sharing. If you want to make your answer a little more interesting, add a tiny detail. "I stayed home and watched a movie. I spent time with my family. I cooked a nice meal." Just one or two details turn your answer into a real conversation. And if your weekend was more active, try, "I went to the park. I watched a movie with a friend. We had a barbecue at home. I visited my grandparents. I went shopping on Sunday." Want to add more? Go ahead. "I went to the beach. The weather was amazing. I saw a movie with my sister. It was super funny." That's how you share small stories, real moments. And that's what small talk is all about. Let me tell you about one of my students, Nayaka. She used to feel really nervous every Monday morning. She told me, "My teacher always asks about my weekend. I never know what to say. I feel silly." I said, "You're not silly. You just need a few tools." So we practiced. Each weekend, she wrote down just 3 little things she did. Then we practiced saying them in English. I made pancakes. I called my mom. I listened to some music. After just 2 weeks, she was ready. When her teacher asked again, "What did you do this weekend?" she smiled and answered, "I made pancakes on Saturday, and on Sunday I went for a walk." The teacher smiled. The conversation was short, but something had changed. She had spoken. She had shared, and she felt proud. You can do that too. Each weekend, write down 1 or 2 things you did. Say them out loud. Practice with a mirror, a friend, or even record yourself. You don't need grammar books. You need real English, real sentences, real practice. And remember, you don't just have to answer. You can ask too. When someone shares, try asking, "That sounds nice. What movie did you watch? Did you enjoy it? Where did you go?" Do you do that often? These simple questions show interest. They keep the conversation alive. They help you feel like part of it, not just a listener, but a speaker too. And if you really did nothing, that's okay. You can still say, "I didn't do much. Just needed some rest. It was a lazy weekend." Sometimes quiet weekends are the best. Be honest. Be natural. Be yourself. That's what real small talk is. So, what did you do last weekend? Try saying it now out loud. 1 or 2 easy sentences. Even if you just rested, your voice matters. Your English matters. Comment below. Let's practice together. And don't stop here, because in the next chapter, we'll talk about your hobbies, your passions, and how to share what you love. This is where small talk becomes real and personal. Let's keep going. Chapter 8. Talking about hobbies, sharing what you love. Let's say someone asks you, "What do you like to do in your free time?" You understand the question. You know what you enjoy, maybe reading, cooking, walking, or listening to music, but your mind goes quiet. You want to speak, but the words feel too big. So you answer, "I like music." Then you stop. The other person smiles, but the talk ends. Inside, you feel like there was more you wanted to say. You just didn't know how. That's what we'll work on today. Because hobbies, what you do when you feel relaxed and happy, are a great way to connect with others. They show your personality. They tell people who you are. And the best part, you don't need advanced English. You just need simple, real words and your true feelings. Let's begin with a few easy examples. I like reading. I enjoy cooking. I love music. I like going for walks. I'm into photography. I enjoy studying English in my free time. These are short but strong. You can use them in any conversation with confidence. Want to make them a little more personal? Add a detail. I like reading mystery books. I enjoy cooking food from my home country. I love playing guitar when I'm alone. I go for a long walk every morning. I'm really into taking photos of nature. I like watching English videos online. These small details open the door. Now the other person can ask more. "Oh, what kind of music do you like? Do you cook often? Where do you take pictures?" And just like that, it's not just English practice, it's a real conversation. Let me tell you about Amal, another student of mine. She was always very quiet in class. When we practiced small talk, she often said, "Nothing special," or "I don't do much." One day I asked her gently, "What do you do when you're alone and feel happy?" She thought for a second, then softly said, "I paint flowers." Her whole face changed. She smiled and said, "I paint small flowers in a notebook. It makes me feel calm." I said, "That's your hobby, and that's your English." We practice the sentence together. I like painting flowers. It helps me feel peaceful. And the next time someone asked her what she liked to do, she answered with pride. That small moment gave her confidence. It helped her feel seen. Your hobby may feel small to you, but it's not small. It's part of who you are. You don't need 5 hobbies. You don't need to be great at them. Just talk about what makes you feel happy and relaxed. It might be dancing, writing, gardening, talking to friends, or even taking naps. These are all real parts of life. And life is where language truly lives. If you're unsure how to explain your hobby, just use easy words. I like, I enjoy, I love, I sometimes, in my free time. Then add the activity. I enjoy writing in a journal. I sometimes play games. I love calling my mom. These are not textbook lines. These are your real-life sentences. And don't forget, you can ask about others too. What do you like to do? Do you have any hobbies? How do you relax after work? Do you enjoy reading or music? Got any fun weekend plans? These questions show you care. They make room for connection. They invite others to share. And when they do, you listen and respond. That's how real conversations grow. That's how friendships begin. So let's practice now. What do you like to do? Say it out loud. Add one detail. Smile. Say it like you're talking to a good friend, because one day you will. And in the comments, tell me one thing you love doing in your free time. I'll read it, I'll smile, and I'll say yes. That's real English. Next, we'll explore one of the tastiest small talk topics, food. You'll learn how to speak about what you eat, what you cook, and what you crave. All in fun, simple English. Chapter 9. Food Talk. Easy sentences for everyday eating. Let's talk about something everyone loves: food. We all eat. We all have favorite meals. We all have memories connected to food, family dinners, birthday cakes, street snacks, or maybe just a hot drink after a long day. That's why food is one of the warmest and most comfortable topics in small talk. You don't need a perfect accent. You don't need big grammar. All you need is simple words, a friendly tone, and a little smile. Suddenly, you're not just speaking English. You're having a real conversation. People often ask, what do you like to eat? Do you enjoy cooking? What's your favorite food? These questions are light, kind, and great for starting a connection. And today, I'll help you answer them easily, and maybe even have fun doing it. Let's begin with the basics. If someone asks, do you cook, or what do you usually eat for dinner? Here are some natural answers. I usually eat rice and chicken. I enjoy spicy food. I cook dinner every night. I don't really like cooking, but I love eating. These are short, honest, and real. You don't need to explain everything, just say one true sentence. That's enough to show confidence and friendliness. Want to say more? Great, add a little detail. I usually eat rice and chicken. It's a common dish in my culture. I enjoy making pasta with vegetables. It's easy and healthy. I try new recipes on weekends. Sometimes they're good, sometimes not so much. When you add these small details, the other person can imagine the food. They might smile and say, that sounds good, or I want to try that. And just like that, you're not just speaking, you're sharing. Let me tell you about my student Lily. She loved baking, but she never spoke about it in English class. She thought it was too small, too unimportant. One day, someone asked her, do you like cooking? She paused, and then said softly, yes, I love baking cakes. We asked her more. She smiled and said, my grandmother taught me. We used to bake together every Sunday. Her whole face lit up. She spoke with joy without fear. That's what food talk can do. It connects generations. It brings out stories. It brings people closer. And you can do that too. Think about what you eat every day. Think about the food that makes you happy. Even something small, like tea in the morning, becomes a full sentence. I always drink tea in the morning. It helps me feel calm. That's not just English. That's your real life in your real voice. Let's try some useful food phrases. I'm hungry. I'm full. This is delicious. I love sweet things. I don't eat meat. I'm trying to eat healthy. I always have breakfast. Sometimes I skip lunch. Pizza is my favorite food. I like trying different kinds of food. You can also talk about where you eat. I usually eat at home. I sometimes eat out with my friends. There's a small restaurant near my house. The food is great. These are easy, useful sentences. You can use them anywhere at school, work a party, or on a date. And don't forget to ask others too. What kind of food do you like? Do you cook at home? What's your favorite dish? Do you eat breakfast every day? These small questions show kindness. And almost everyone has something to say about food. Food can also be a great way to share your culture. If your country has a special dish, talk about it. In my country, we eat biryani on holidays. We have a dessert made from rice and milk. My mom makes the best soup in the world. Even if the other person doesn't know your food, they will feel your excitement. And that feeling becomes connection. And that connection becomes conversation. So now let's practice. What's your favorite food? Say it in one sentence. Where do you eat it? Who do you eat it with? Why do you love it? Then try asking someone else the same question. Start a food story. Here's one simple question. What did you eat today? Write one sentence in English. Say it out loud. Or post it in the comments. I'll read it, I'll smile, I'll understand. Let's share food stories one sentence at a time. And in the next chapter, we'll talk about something just as real feelings. Not deep dramatic feelings, but small everyday emotions. You'll learn how to sound natural, honest, and warm, even with just a few simple words. Let's go there now. Chapter 10. Talking about feelings. Light and natural. Feelings are a part of every conversation. We feel tired. We feel happy. We feel nervous, excited, or sometimes bored. But when someone asks, "How are you feeling?" or when we want to say how we feel, we often don't know how to say it in English. We pause. We worry. We think. What's the right word? Will I sound too emotional? Will they understand me? So we play it safe and say, "I'm fine," even when we're not. But here's the truth. In real life, people talk about feelings all the time. Not deep, serious emotions, just small, everyday moods. And today you'll learn how to talk about your feelings clearly, naturally, and kindly. Let's begin with this. You don't have to share everything. You don't have to tell your whole story. You just need to speak one true sentence. That's enough to build a connection. For example, I'm a little tired today. I'm feeling good right now. I'm excited for the weekend. I'm nervous about my test. I'm happy to see you. I'm not in the mood to work. It's been a long day. I feel calm now. I'm enjoying this moment. I'm just a bit stressed. These sentences are simple and real. You can say them to friends, co-workers, classmates, or even strangers. They help people understand you. They show that you're not a robot. You're a human. Let me tell you a short story. One day my student Sid came into class looking very quiet. Usually he was cheerful. That day he wasn't smiling. I asked gently, "Are you okay?" He said, "Yes, I'm fine." But I could feel something was wrong. After class, I asked again, this time more softly. He looked down and whispered, "I'm a little sad. My friend just moved away." I said, "Thank you for telling me." We spoke for 5 minutes. Later he told me that helped. I felt better. Just one sentence, "I'm a little sad." That opened the door. That's the power of emotional English. You can also show care through feelings. If someone says, "I have a test tomorrow," you can say, "Good luck," or "You'll do great." If someone says, "I'm feeling sick," you can say, "Oh no, I hope you feel better soon." If someone shares something happy, you can say, "Wow, that's great," or "I'm so happy for you." These are simple responses, but they make people feel seen, and that matters. You can also ask about feelings in gentle ways. How are you feeling today? Are you okay? Did you have a good day? You seem happy. What's going on? You look tired. Long day. You don't need to be serious. Just speak with kindness. Use a soft voice and gentle eyes. That creates safety, and in that safety, real talk begins. Sometimes you don't feel like speaking. That's okay too. You can say, "I don't feel like talking right now. I just need a quiet moment." These are honest and respectful. You can use them to protect your space without sounding rude. So now I ask you, how are you feeling today? Don't say fine. Say something real. One word, one sentence. "I feel relaxed. I'm a little tired. I feel thankful. That's enough. That's your voice. That's real English. Write it in the comments. Say it out loud. Let's practice emotional English together. And in the next chapter, we'll explore something very special: compliments. You'll learn how to give them and how to receive them with warmth, ease, and kindness. These little moments of positivity can open hearts and create real connection. Let's keep going. Chapter 11. Giving small compliments and accepting them gracefully. Everyone appreciates a kind word. When someone says, "You look nice today," or "Good job," something warm happens inside. You feel seen. You feel appreciated. And the person giving the compliment feels good too. But for many English learners, giving compliments can feel awkward. You might think, is it okay to say that? Will it sound strange? What if I say it wrong? And receiving compliments can be just as difficult. You feel shy. You're not sure how to respond, so maybe you stay quiet or you change the subject. And just like that, a sweet little moment is gone. But here's the truth. Compliments are a wonderful part of small talk. They're short, they're powerful, and they create instant connection. They can lead to longer conversations, deeper trust, and even friendship. That's why this chapter matters. I'll show you how to give small compliments in everyday English and how to accept them in a kind and confident way. It's not about perfect grammar. It's about kindness. And kindness is a language that everyone understands. Let's begin with simple compliments you can use every day. I like your shirt. That color looks great on you. Nice haircut. You're really good at this. That's a great idea. You did a fantastic job. I love your smile. This food is delicious. You speak English so well. You're always so helpful. These are real compliments that people use in English-speaking countries all the time. At school, at work, with friends, or even with strangers. If you notice something nice, say something. If you feel something good, share it. That's how you build connection. Let me tell you a short story. My student Ahmed was always polite, but very quiet. One day after class, another student helped him with his bag. Ahmed looked at him and said, "You're kind." The other student smiled, put a hand on his heart, and said, "Thank you." That means a lot. Later, Ahmed told me I gave a compliment, and it felt really good. I smiled and said, "Yes, it always does." That tiny moment made both of them feel happy. That's the magic of a kind word. You can create that too. If you feel nervous, start by practicing alone. Look in the mirror. Say, "Nice job." Say, "You look great today." Say you worked really hard. Get comfortable with these words. Then when the right moment comes, you'll be ready to share them with someone else. Now let's talk about how to accept compliments with grace. Many people feel shy or unsure, so they say, "No, it's nothing," or they change the topic. But instead of brushing it off, try accepting it warmly. Here are some easy and polite replies. "Thank you. That's kind of you." "Thanks. I really appreciate it." "Thanks. I wasn't sure, but that makes me feel better." "Oh, thank you. You just made my day." These replies are short, sweet, and sincere. You don't need to say much, just smile and say thank you. Let that good feeling stay. Compliments are gifts. Don't push them away. Accept them, keep them, and if it feels right, give one back. For example, if someone says, "You look nice today," you can say thanks you too. Or, "Thank you. I really like your jacket." But don't feel like you always have to return a compliment. It's not a rule. Just be honest and gentle. And here's something useful. Compliments are also a great way to start a conversation. You can say to a stranger, "I love your bag. Where did you get it?" or to a coworker. That presentation was really clear. These little comments break the ice. They create a smile and invite more talk. Now it's your turn. Think of one compliment you can give today to a friend, a classmate, or even a stranger. Say it out loud in English. Say it slowly and kindly. It could be about someone's clothes, their work, their energy, anything. And when someone compliments you, don't run from it. Just smile. Say thank you. Let that kind moment stay in your heart. So now tell me, what compliment will you give today? Write it in the comments. Practice with us. Let's share some kindness one sentence at a time. Chapter 12. Asking for help politely. There are moments when you simply need help. Maybe you're in a store and can't find something. You're in a new place and you feel lost. Or you didn't understand a word someone said. Your heart beats faster. You want to ask, but you feel scared. You think your English isn't good enough. You worry people won't understand, so you stay quiet. You don't speak. And then you walk away feeling frustrated, not because you needed help, but because you didn't ask. This happens to so many English learners. That's why this chapter is so important. In English, asking for help is normal. It's not rude. It's not weak. It's human. When you learn how to ask politely, you'll feel more calm, more confident, and more in control. Because asking for help isn't about grammar. It's about courage and a few kind words. Here are some helpful sentences you can use. Excuse me, can you help me? Sorry, where's the bathroom? Could you tell me how to get to the station? I'm looking for the bread aisle. Can you explain that again, please? I don't understand. Could you repeat that? How do you say this in English? Can you write it down for me? Sorry to bother you, but I need help. These phrases are simple. They are friendly, and they work in any situation at the supermarket, at school, on the street, or even online. You don't have to speak fast. You don't have to sound perfect. Just speak slowly, clearly, and with a kind voice. People will listen. People will help. Let me share a story. My student Rena was studying English in Canada. One day she got lost. She stood on the street looking around, feeling scared. She wanted to ask for help, but she was nervous. Then she remembered a phrase we had practiced. Excuse me, could you help me? She walked up to a woman and said it. The woman smiled and said, Of course. 5 minutes later, Rena was on the right bus heading home. Later, she told me that one sentence saved my day, just one sentence, but it gave her safety. It gave her confidence. You can do the same. Start with just one phrase. Practice it alone. Say it to yourself while walking. Whisper it on the bus. Repeat it in front of the mirror. Excuse me, can you help me? Make it your safety sentence. When the moment comes, you'll be ready. You won't freeze. You'll speak. And remember, most English speakers are kind. They don't expect perfect English. If you speak slowly, they'll wait. If you use simple words, they'll understand. If you smile, they'll smile back. Don't feel small when asking for help. Feel strong. Because strong people ask when they need to. Now, how do you respond when someone helps you? Try these sentences. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. That was very kind of you. Thanks. I was a little lost. You've been very helpful. These replies are polite. They're warm. They make the other person feel appreciated. You can even add something more. Thanks. I'm new here. I'm still learning English. Most people will smile and say, You're doing great. That one moment becomes more than help, it becomes encouragement. So I ask you now, what sentence do you use when you need help? Write one in the comments. Practice with us. Make asking for help a habit. Next time you're unsure, confused, or lost, don't stay silent. Speak, ask, and keep moving forward. In the next chapter, we'll talk about how to speak politely and clearly at school, in class, or at work with simple professional English that helps you sound confident and respected. Chapter 13. Speaking at school or work. For many people, learning English talking in places like the classroom or the workplace can feel intimidating. This isn't just casual conversation. It's a space where people expect you to be clear, respectful, and professional. You want to sound polite and confident, not slow or unsure. You don't want to make mistakes. But here's a truth. Even native speakers sometimes feel nervous in these situations. So when someone at work or school says, "Can I talk to you?" or "Do you have a second?" your heart might start to beat faster. You understand the words, but suddenly it feels hard to speak. You smile awkwardly and stay silent. That's completely normal. And the good news is it doesn't have to stay that way. In this chapter, we'll learn simple, polite English phrases for everyday moments at work or in school. You don't need advanced grammar or fancy vocabulary. Just useful, kind phrases that help you speak more easily in real situations with a teacher, your manager, a coworker, or a classmate. Let's start with polite ways to get someone's attention or ask for a moment of their time. Here are a few natural and respectful examples. "Excuse me, do you have a second? Can I ask you something? Is this a good time? Sorry to interrupt, but I have a quick question." These sentences are short and thoughtful. They show that you care about the other person's time, and that makes people more open to helping you. You can also respond politely when someone asks you something. For example, if your teacher says, "Do you understand?" you can say, "Not yet, but I'm working on it." If your colleague asks, "Can you give me a hand?" reply with, "Sure, I'd be happy to help." Even these small replies show you are cooperative, kind, and professional without needing perfect English. Now let's talk about asking for clarity when you don't understand. This is very common and nothing to feel shy about. In fact, it shows strength and a desire to learn. Try these phrases. "Sorry, I didn't catch that. Can you say it again? I didn't understand. Could you explain that once more? I'm still learning English. Could you speak a little slower?" These are powerful tools. They help you stay calm and make sure you're not missing something important. And when you use them, people usually respond with patience and kindness. Here's a quick story. One of my students, Omar, worked part-time at a cafe while learning English. One day, a customer asked for a half-calf skinny vanilla latte. Omar didn't know what it was. He just smiled and pretended to understand, but inside he panicked. Later I told him, "It's okay to ask. Just say, 'Sorry, could you repeat that more slowly?'" So he practiced that. The next day, when a different customer said something confusing, Omar took a breath and said the sentence. The customer smiled, repeated the order, and everything went smoothly. That moment made Omar feel confident, and he started to use his English more naturally. At work or school, you can also give positive feedback. If someone helps you, say thanks, that really helped. If someone explains something, you can say, "Thanks now, I understand better." And when you want to share your own idea in a group, try saying, "Can I add something? I'd like to share a thought." These phrases are simple, respectful, and effective. You don't need complicated words to sound smart, just kind language and a clear voice. If you ever feel unsure in a formal situation, like a presentation or a meeting, you can say something like, "I'm still learning English, but I'll do my best." This sentence is powerful. It tells people you are learning, but you're not afraid. It gives space for mistakes, and that helps you and others feel more relaxed. So today, pick just one phrase from this chapter. Practice it. Use it. Maybe it's, "Can I ask you something?" Or, "Sorry, I didn't catch that." Use it at work, at school, or even in a new group. That small sentence is more than grammar, it's confidence. Now I want to hear from you. What English sentence do you use most at work or school? Or which one do you want to practice more? Leave a comment below. I read everyone, and we can all learn together. Next, we'll talk about small conversations with strangers in elevators on the street and cafes. These quick chats can grow your confidence in a big way. Chapter 14. Small talk with strangers. For English learners, speaking to strangers might seem like a small thing, but for many, it's actually one of the scariest. You're waiting in line, sitting next to someone on a train, or standing in an elevator. You want to say something, just a small sentence, but your mind goes blank. You look at your phone, you say nothing, and the moment passes. Inside, you feel a little disappointed. You weren't hoping for a big conversation, just a friendly connection, but fear got in the way. That fear doesn't mean you're weak. It means you care. You want to be polite. You want to say something meaningful, but you're not sure where to start. Let's change that. In many English-speaking countries, small talk with strangers is very common. Just a few kind words, a little smile, and you can create a warm moment. You don't have to be funny or clever. You just need to be friendly, gentle, and open. Let's look at some easy ways to begin. These are very short, natural sentences that work in public places. Busy day, huh? Nice weather today. It's really crowded here. Long line, isn't it? This coffee smells amazing. I love your shoes. Do you come here often? These phrases don't ask for deep conversation. They simply open the door. They let someone know you're friendly. If the person replies with a smile, you can continue. If not, that's okay too. You did something brave. If the conversation continues, you can follow up with a small question. Do you live around here? Have you been waiting long? What's your favorite thing to get here? Is this bus usually on time? Do you come to this park often? These are light questions. They're safe. They invite the other person to share a little. And every time you try, you grow more confident. Here's a real example. One of my students, Rosa, was very shy. She told me, I want to talk to people, but I get nervous. What if they ignore me? I told her, start with one sentence. That's all. So she practiced nice day today, right? She practiced the smile, the voice, the timing. Then one day, while waiting in line at a store, she looked at the man next to her and said it. Nice day today, right? He smiled back and said, yes, I love the sunshine. That one moment gave her confidence. She felt proud. After that, she started doing it more often, and it became easier. You can do the same. Pick one sentence from this chapter. Just one. Maybe it's busy day, huh? Or long wait, isn't it? Practice it in front of a mirror. Say it in your room. Say it until it feels comfortable. Then go out and use it in a shop, in an elevator, at a bus stop. You're not asking for a deep talk. You're just saying, I see you. I'm friendly. And sometimes, that's all someone needs to smile. If someone doesn't reply, that's okay. Don't take it personally. Maybe they're busy. Maybe they're tired. Maybe they're shy too. You did your part, and next time, someone will reply. Also remember, you can respond to small talk too. If someone says, nice weather today, you can say, yes, it's beautiful. If they say busy day, you can say very busy, but it's going well. You don't need long answers, just enough to keep the friendly moment alive. The more you practice, the easier it becomes. Now tell me, what's one small sentence you could say to a stranger today? Leave a comment below. Practice it here. Then go use it in real life. These are not just English phrases. These are steps toward real fluency. They are moments of courage. And each time you use your voice with kindness, you grow. In the next chapter, we'll We'll talk about how to make plans, how to ask someone to meet, how to say yes, how to say no, all using polite, simple English. This is where real friendship begins. Chapter 15, Making Plans. One of the best parts of small talk is this: sometimes the conversation doesn't end, it grows. You talk, you smile. And suddenly someone says, "We should get coffee sometime," or "Let's meet again next week." And your heart starts to race. You feel happy, but also nervous. You want to say yes, or maybe no, or maybe, "Can we do it another time?" But the right words don't come fast enough. So you say something short, maybe too quiet. Maybe it sounds confusing. Then you go home and think, did I say it right? Did I sound rude? Did they understand me? That's why this chapter matters, because making plans is a real part of life. It can be casual, it can be simple, but it should feel natural. Today I'll help you speak those sentences clearly, kindly, and with confidence. Let's begin with how to ask someone to meet. Here are a few easy ways. Do you want to get coffee sometime? Are you free this weekend? Would you like to go for a walk? How about lunch after class? Want to grab a bite after work? These are friendly invitations. You're not pushing, you're simply asking. That's important because it shows respect and gives the other person space to say yes or no. Now, what if someone asks you? You can say, "Sure, that sounds nice. Yes, I'd love to. That works for me. I'm free on Saturday. Let's do it." And if you're not available, that's okay too. You can still be polite. "I'd love to, but I'm busy that day. Can we do another time? This week is full. Maybe next week. Thanks for the invite, but I have plans." These sentences are respectful. You're saying no, but gently. And that keeps the door open for the future. Let me tell you about my student Mina. She met a girl in her English class. They sat together, laughed, and got along. At the end of class, the girl said, "We should study together sometime." Mina smiled, but said nothing. She didn't know how to say yes politely, so the moment passed, and the study session never happened. Later, Mina told me I wanted to go. I just didn't know what to say. So we practiced one sentence together. Yes, that would be great. 1 week later, someone asked her again. This time she smiled and said, "Yes, that would be great. I'm free on Friday." They met, they studied, and they became friends. One sentence changed everything. You can do the same. Just practice one sentence at a time. Use it. And when someone wants to meet you, you'll be ready. You can also make soft plans. Not serious, not fixed, just friendly. Let's catch up soon. We should hang out sometime. Let's talk again later this week. Maybe coffee next time. If they say yes, suggest a time. If they say maybe later, smile and let it go. That's fine too. Small talk isn't pressure, it's peace. And if you want to follow up later, say, "Are you still free this weekend? Do you want to meet up this Friday? Still good for lunch tomorrow?" These little check-ins help keep the plan alive. They show that you care, and they help both people feel ready. Now here's your task. Choose one sentence, just one. Maybe, "Are you free this weekend? Let's get coffee sometime." Practice it. Say it to yourself. Then use it with a classmate, a coworker, or even a neighbor, because it's not just about making plans. It's about saying, "I want to connect. I want to share a moment with you." Now tell me, what kind of plan would you like to make in English? A walk, a movie, a coffee. Write your sentence in the comments. Let's help each other grow. In the next chapter, we'll talk about how to speak in stores and markets. You'll learn how to talk to cashiers, ask questions, return items, and feel confident in public places. Chapter 16, Conversations at the Store. You walk into a store. The lights are bright. There are people everywhere. You see clothes, food, books. You know what you want to buy. But then a worker says, "Hi, can I help you?" And suddenly, You freeze. You smile. Maybe say, "I'm just looking," and walk away. Or maybe you want to ask something, a price, a size where something is, but the English feels stuck in your mouth. You look around. You want to speak, but you don't. And when you leave the store, you feel a little sad. Not because you didn't buy something, but because you didn't speak. You are not alone. Many English learners feel this way in stores. There's pressure. There are strangers. Everything feels fast. But today, I'll give you something powerful. Simple English for shopping. These small phrases will help you feel strong. You'll learn how to ask reply by return and say thank you. And when you use them, you'll feel calm, ready, and proud. Let's start with the beginning of a shopping trip. When you walk in, someone might say, "Hi there, welcome in. Can I help you find something? Are you looking for anything special?" You can reply, "I'm just looking, thanks. Yes, I'm looking for a jacket. I need some help, please. Do you have this in medium size?" Just one short sentence. Say it with a smile and a soft voice. That's all you need. Now, what if you want to ask for something? You can say, "Excuse me, how much is this? Do you have this in another color? Where can I find the bread? Is this on sale? Can I try this on for clothes? Can I see that one, please? Do you take credit cards? Is there a bathroom here?" These are real everyday sentences. You don't need perfect grammar. You just need the courage to ask, and most workers will smile. They will help you because that's their job. Let me share a story. My student Yuri moved from a small town to a big city. She wanted to buy shoes, but she didn't know how to talk to the store worker. She waited 20 minutes too scared to speak. Then she walked out holding back tears. Later she told me, "I feel stupid." I looked at her and said, "You are not stupid. You are scared. And scared is okay." We practiced one sentence. "Excuse me, can I try these in size 38? She said it 20 times. The next week, she returned to the store. Same worker. She took a deep breath and said, "Excuse me, can I try these in size 38? The worker smiled, of course. She tried the shoes. She bought them. And when she left the store, she cried again, but this time from joy. That's the power of one sentence, one voice, one win. Now let's talk about paying. At the cashier, you can say, "Hi, how are you? I'd like to buy this. Can I pay by card? Do you need a bag?" And reply, "No, thank you. Yes, please. Can I get a receipt, please? Thank you very much." These small words show respect. They make you feel human, not just a customer.
Sometimes you need to return something. That can feel scary too. But here's how to do it. Walk up and say, "Hi, I bought this yesterday, but it doesn't fit. Can I return this? Can I exchange this for another size? I have the receipt here. Thank you for your help." Be calm. Be clear. You are not doing anything wrong. You are growing. Now your task. Choose one sentence to try next time you go shopping. Maybe, "Do you have this in another size? Can I try this on? I'd like to buy this." Write it down. Practice it. Use it. One sentence, one goal, one step forward. In the next chapter, we'll talk about what to do when conversations feel awkward or silent, how to stay calm, and how to keep things going with easy, natural English. Let's keep growing. Chapter 17, Dealing with Silence and Awkward Moments. There's a moment that many people learning English really fear. It's not when someone asks a hard question. It's not even when someone speaks too fast. It's the silence, that empty pause in the middle of a conversation. Everything was going fine. You were talking, you were listening, and then, suddenly, it stops. Nothing is said, no words, just quiet. You look at the other person. They look at you. Your heart starts beating faster. You give a nervous smile. Maybe you look away, and inside your head, a thought pops up, I should say, something. But what? The silence feels heavy. It feels uncomfortable. It feels like you made a mistake. But here's the truth. Silence is normal. It happens to everyone, even native speakers. Even close friends stop talking sometimes. Silence is not failure. It's just a pause, a moment. And moments can be gentle. They don't have to be filled with words. But if you do want to keep the conversation going, you can. And today, I'll show you how. You'll learn a few easy and friendly English phrases you can use when the conversation stops. These short phrases can save the moment. They can help you feel calm and confident again. First, remember something important. Silence is not your enemy. It's your teacher. When things go quiet, don't panic. Take a slow breath. Look around. Think gently. You're not in a test. You're having a real moment with another person. They're not judging you. They just want connection, just like you. And sometimes connection needs a little pause. That's okay. But when you're ready to speak again, you can use simple phrases called conversation bridges. These help you move from silence to speech softly, naturally. Here are a few examples. So, anyway, that's interesting. What do you think? Tell me more. By the way, oh, that reminds me. These are gentle. They show the other person you're still interested. You're still listening. You're still here. Let me give you a picture. Imagine you're talking to someone about movies. They finish speaking. You nod. And then silence. You can simply say, "So what's your all-time favorite movie?" Or, "By the way, do you go to the cinema often?" Or even, "That reminds me, I saw something funny last week." These aren't long, but they give the other person something new to respond to. And that brings the talk back to life. One of my students, Tomas, used to hate silence. He told me, "When it gets quiet, I feel stupid, like I failed." I told him, "What if silence isn't failure? What if it's just an invitation?" He looked surprised. I said, "Next time it's quiet, don't walk away. Just breathe. Then say something small." A week later, Thomas came back smiling. He said he had been talking to someone new, and yes, there was a pause. But instead of running away, he said, "So, what kind of music do you like?" The other person smiled. They talked for 10 more minutes. One simple question saved the moment, and Thomas felt powerful. You can use light questions like that too. Do you travel much? How's your week going? What do you usually do after work?
Have you read anything good recently?
They're not too personal. They're easy to answer, and people love to share their stories. And if your mind really goes blank, you can still be honest. You can even smile and say, "Sorry, I'm not sure what to say right now." Or, "My brain feels slow today." People will understand. They'll smile too because you're being real. You don't have to hide silence. You can accept it. That's real fluency. Not perfect English, but peaceful English. So today, I invite you to be brave. Next time a conversation feels quiet or a little awkward, don't run. Don't say, "My English is bad." Just pause, take a breath, smile, and say something small, even just so. That shows courage. That shows connection. That shows you're still there. Now, I ask you, what's one sentence you will use next time there's a pause? Write it in the comments. This is your safe space. Let's grow together. Chapter 18, Ending a Conversation Politely. Every conversation has a beginning, but just as important, it needs a clear, kind ending.
And sometimes ending is even harder than starting. Maybe you're talking with someone at work. Maybe it's a neighbor or a classmate. Maybe you're chatting online. You've enjoyed the talk. Or maybe you're just tired. Or you have something else to do. But you don't know how to say goodbye nicely. So you say something short like, "Okay," but it feels cold. A little strange. Like something is missing. Later you walk away thinking, "That didn't feel right." Don't worry. This is very common. Ending a conversation is a social skill. And like any skill, you can learn it. It doesn't matter if you're shy or nervous. You can learn to leave a conversation politely, with peace, with warmth, and with confidence. Let me show you how. We'll start with soft endings, gentle ways to say goodbye. You can try these. Anyway, I should get going. It was great talking to you. I've got to run, but let's catch up later. I need to head out now. I don't want to keep you, but it was lovely chatting. These are not just bye. They're full of care. They show the person that you enjoyed the time. And if you want to explain why you're leaving, you can. Just add a reason. I have a meeting soon. I need to get back to work. My bus is coming. I'm going to meet someone. These are short, simple explanations. They show that you're busy because of life, not because of them. And people understand that. Let me tell you about my student Juan. He loved talking to classmates, but he never knew how to end a conversation. He always waited for the other person to say goodbye first. One day I asked him, "Why do you wait?" He said, "I don't want to sound rude." I smiled and told him, "You can still be kind and say goodbye." I gave him one sentence. "It was great talking to you. Let's talk again soon." He practiced it. He used it. And the next week after class, he said it to a new friend. The friend smiled and replied, "Yes, let's do that." It worked. It felt natural. It gave Juan confidence. And now he doesn't wait anymore. You can do the same. Practice endings just like you practice greetings, because endings matter too. They're the last thing people remember. Let's look at how to say goodbye in different situations. At work, you can say, "I'll let you get back to it. I've got to jump into a meeting. Let's talk again later this week." In casual talks, you can say, "All right, I'll catch you later. I should go now, but it was nice seeing you. Thanks for the chat. Take care." And if the conversation is going too long and you feel tired, you can still be polite and say, "I'd love to talk more, but I really need to go. Can we continue this another time? Let's talk again soon. I've got to go now." You're not being rude. You're being honest with kindness. That's healthy. That's respectful. And don't forget the sweet final phrases that make goodbyes warmer. Take care. Have a good day. See you around. Talk soon. Stay safe. These little words are like soft pillows. They leave a gentle feeling behind. People remember them. So here's your challenge today. Pick one sentence to end a conversation. Maybe it was nice talking to you. I have to go now. Practice it. Say it out loud. Say it in the mirror. Then use it in a real conversation with a friend, a coworker, even a stranger. And when you do feel the power, you didn't go silent. You didn't run away. You ended with strength, with heart, with kindness. Now tell me, what's your favorite way to say goodbye in English? Write it in the comments. Let's learn from each other. Let's end this chapter like we end every good conversation, with clarity, with care, with connection. Chapter 19. Practice small talk every day. You've made amazing progress. So far, you've learned how to greet someone, ask basic questions, share your feelings, talk about the weather, discuss your weekend, and politely end a conversation. At this point, you probably know hundreds of useful small talk phrases. But let me ask you this. Do you feel ready to use them daily? Not just think about them or understand them, but actually speak them out loud in your everyday life. This is the real test, and also the real transformation. Just knowing English isn't enough. Reading and listening help, but they aren't everything. You need to use your voice. If your mouth doesn't practice, your fluency won't grow. Fluency comes from speaking, from action, from consistent effort. So today's chapter isn't about learning more phrases. It's about creating a strong, simple routine, a daily habit that helps you speak a little bit of English every single day. Just a few minutes, just a few phrases, but done with purpose, with focus, with your full attention. Let me share a personal experience. When I was learning a new language, I felt very nervous. I understood a lot. I watched videos, read books, learned vocabulary. But when it came to speaking, I froze. My mouth wouldn't move. My brain felt like it shut down. I thought, maybe I'm just not good at this. But I wasn't bad at speaking. I was simply not speaking out loud. I was stuck in my head. I was learning in a passive way, not an active one. So I made a small change. I created a daily routine, just 5 minutes each day, to practice saying things out loud. That tiny habit completely changed the way I spoke. You can do the same. And you don't need a teacher. You don't need a classroom. You don't even need a partner. All you really need are 3 things: your voice, your time, and your willingness. Let me walk you through a simple method. Step 1. Pick 3 small talk phrases you like. You can choose from any chapter. For example, how's it going? I'm feeling a bit tired today. It's such a beautiful day. Say them out loud, slowly, clearly, with emotion. Stand in front of a mirror if you can. Imagine you're speaking to a real person. Use your eyes. Use your smile. Use your voice. You're not just speaking, you're training. Step 2. Record your voice. Use your phone. Say the 3 phrases. Then play it back. Listen to how you sound. Don't be too hard on yourself. Just notice. Are you speaking clearly? Are you adding feeling? This isn't about being perfect. It's about being aware. Honest listening helps you grow. Step 3. Use one phrase in real life. That's it, just one. Talk to someone around you, a shop assistant, a classmate, a neighbor, or even a stranger. Say something simple like, busy day today, huh? Have a good one. Excuse me, can you help me? When you say it, when the words come from your mouth instead of just your thoughts, you'll feel something shift. You'll feel a spark of confidence, a sense of progress. And that moment is powerful. With just 5 minutes a day, you can turn your small talk practice into a life-changing routine. You don't need to study grammar for hours. You need real situations, real speech, real effort. Let me tell you about one of my students, Nura. She was very quiet in class, hardly ever spoke, but she was focused. She listened carefully, took notes, and learned steadily. One day, I gave her a tiny task. Each morning, look in the mirror and say, "Good morning, I'm ready today." She giggled, but she gave it a try. After a week, she added another sentence, "I feel strong." After a month, she was saying 5 sentences every morning. Things like, "The sun is out," "I have school today," "I enjoy learning English." Then she started saying them to her classmates. Eventually, she even spoke to a stranger at a coffee shop. Now she speaks in English every day. She always tells me it began with just one sentence in the mirror. That can be you too. Start small. Speak daily. Even if it's just to yourself. Even if no one hears you, speak anyway, because your voice is important. Your growth is important. So now I ask you, what 3 small talk phrases will you say today? Write them in the comments. Then say them out loud. Let's keep practicing together. In the next and final chapter, we'll bring it all together. You'll see how these small phrases are much more than words. They are your path to fluency, confidence, and real human connection. Chapter 20. Small talk. Big change. We've now reached the final chapter, but this is far from the end of your story. In truth, this is only the start of something much bigger and much more meaningful. Because today, you're not just someone learning English. You've become someone who speaks it, someone who connects, someone who communicates with real purpose. You now understand that what we call small talk isn't actually small at all. It's powerful. It's bold. It has the ability to shift everything the way you see yourself, how others see you, how you build your life through language. That's exactly why this chapter is called Small Talk Big Change, because that's what you've experienced and what you'll continue to experience, one phrase, one moment, one honest connection at a time. Think back to the beginning. Maybe you were nervous to say even a simple hello. Maybe when someone asked, "How are you?" your mind went blank. You probably avoided conversations. You smiled, politely, nodded a lot, stayed quiet. Not because you didn't want to join in, but because you weren't sure how. The words weren't there. The practice wasn't there. And maybe you once believed that small talk didn't matter. Maybe you thought I need to learn real English, advanced English, but now you see the truth. Real fluency doesn't begin with big speeches. It begins with the small, simple things. Hi. Busy day. Nice to meet you. These are not just words. They're the start of something that grows. You've learned how to have conversations in real-life situations at work and class while shopping on the sidewalk. You've discovered how to compliment someone, how to express how you feel, how to begin and end a chat, and how to stay calm during silence. You've practiced using English in a way that's thoughtful, kind, and human. And above all, you've learned how to truly connect. Because language at its heart is about connection. We don't speak English just to take tests or earn certificates. We speak so we can feel closer to others, to make friends, to ask for help, to laugh together, to say, "You matter to me." That's the secret most people forget. Small talk isn't about grammar rules. It's about showing you care. It's about being brave. It's about bringing warmth to your words. And when you learn to speak with warmth and honesty, your English becomes more than correct, it becomes alive. Let me end with one final story. There was a man named Farid who joined one of my beginner English classes. He had studied English from textbooks for years, but he had never actually spoken a single word out loud. He told me, "I'm scared I'll say the wrong thing. People will laugh at me." I replied, "People don't laugh at kindness. They respond to it." So we took it step by step. One week we practiced saying, "Hi, how's it going?" The next week we practiced saying, "I'm from Syria. What about you?" Later we worked on asking for help in a store. It wasn't easy. He made lots of mistakes, but he kept trying. Then one day, he walked into class with a big smile. Today, he said, "I talked to someone at the park. We just spoke about the weather, but I did it, and I wasn't afraid." That one moment changed his life. He joined a local book club. Now he speaks English every day, and he always says it all began with small talk. That can be your story too. You don't need to speak fast. You don't need long, difficult words. What you really need is heart and practice and daily chances to use real simple English. Because when you speak with care and presence, people listen, people respond. And over time, your English grows into something powerful, something joyful, something that feels like you. So what's next? Keep moving forward. Keep using your voice. Every day, try saying a few sentences to yourself, to a friend, to anyone. Use the phrases we've learned in this series. Add your own. Mix them. Play with them. But most importantly, speak. Let your voice become stronger. Let your fear become smaller. Let your fluency become part of your daily life. And if you ever feel stuck, remember you're not starting over. You're simply continuing. Come back to these chapters. Reread them. Say the sentences out loud again. Each time you do, you move forward. Because fluency isn't a finish line. It's a journey, a daily practice. And every little step matters. Finally, before we end, I want to say something personal to you. I am proud of you. Deeply. You stayed with this series. You read every chapter. You practiced. You listened. You showed commitment and care. And that says something about who you are, not just as a learner of English, but as a strong, determined, hopeful person. You are doing this. You can keep doing this. So if this video helped you, please give it a like, subscribe if you want to keep learning and growing together with me, and in the comments, share your favorite sentence from this series. What small talk moment made you feel most proud? I read every comment, and I truly want to celebrate your progress with you. Because this wasn't just a language lesson. This was a transformation, and it's only just beginning.